That's my first buy, and a big old goatee, and I braided it, and this big dude comes out like, I'm gonna die right now. So there's times I went and I bought dope in my raid gear. Like, hey, you're a cop. Yeah, but cops use dope too, you know. They would come back and arrest them. But you're a cop. Because, yeah, that's why you're in jail.
Welcome to the Proper Scoundrel Show.
Eric, thanks for coming out. How you been?
Good.
Good. It's been a little while.
Yeah, like long time.
Long time. You look good though.
Thank you.
I remember when you told me about you were doing a buy or something, and they found your 2-inch, your backup, and you said something about it. It had engraving on it or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I remember you told me that at the station. I said, "How'd you get out?" He goes, "Adam, you just go straight to the money. Say, are you going to buy this or not?" And then they change their mind, and it worked.
That's my first buy.
Your first buy.
I scared shitless, man. You couldn't have shoved a needle at my ass.
What happened?
Well, no, I was at industry crew, and I looked like a biker.
Yeah.
You know, I had my hair really short, almost shaved, and a big old goatee, and I braided it, you know, and I was wearing a Pendleton, and, you know.
Yeah.
So I had my 2-inch.
Yeah.
And I stuck it in the back of my, you know. And I'm thinking, and my crew, they're in a van down the street. But the house I was dealing were West Covina neighborhood Crips.
Yeah.
And 2 of them, Robert Archie, he was big. This dude was like 6'6", yoked, been in and out of prison. And then this other guy, Melvin Thomas. And he was sitting on the parkway in a chair, and he was selling rock, right? And the informant said, yeah, they have guns, but they got a lot of dope. They're cutting it up. There's probably a couple kilos, and they rocked it all up. So, and my crew, they're a bunch of old veteranos, you know, and they're in the van. Getting all stupid, right?
On the eye.
They're not watching me. So I had $100, right? And you Xerox it before.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, the numbers and everything. Yeah.
So I go up there, and I'm trying to act like a hardcore and shit.
Yeah, fit in, yeah.
And the one thing that I didn't know is like Felix, he never wore a watch or anything, because what does it do? It has a tan line.
Yeah.
What is? And they look at that. Those fools aren't.
They're going up and down trying to figure out if you're a cop.
So they're going, "What are you doing here, ese? You know, Orale Holmes, I want to pick up a couple paquetas. You know, give it to me now. I got some feria right here." And they're like, I'm like, oh fuck, they're gonna find the gun. You know, I'm just thinking, if they find my gun. But it actually had an engraving of Anaheim PD on there.
Oh, shit.
So if they say anything, hey, man, you a cop? And goes, nah, man, I stole that. I'm going to tell them I stole it from a cop over in Anaheim. Why would I be over here if I'm working Anaheim PD? You know?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think.
Fast.
And, man, the sweat's going down the crack of my ass, man. I'm like, holy cow. So they go, and then he goes, hey, Arch, you know, homeboy. And this big dude comes on like, holy shit, I'm going to die right now. So they go, what do you want, homeboy? I said, I want some double ups. All right, where's the money? I show them the money. You know, money talks. If I would have had just $20, they'd have said, got it.
They want $100.
Yeah, so I show them $100. So I walk in there. And I thought,
you're inside?
Yeah, I'm in the house.
Oh, shit.
They don't do it right out front.
Oh, damn. That's even worse.
So I walk inside.
Yeah.
And I go, this is my first buy, and it's going to be my last. And I'm thinking, you know.
You can't laugh. You got to laugh about him now.
Well, now, yeah, but I wasn't laughing then. And I'm thinking, man, the shit hits the fan in here. I mean, maybe I'll get a couple rounds off, but... Mm-hmm. So I walk in there, their coffee table, and you could see it. They're already packaging up ounces and stuff like that. You know, teeners, 16ths, and all that shit, right? And then they got a Glock 9mm, and then they had an Ingram 9mm machine gun. And I'm like,
Fuck.
this is going to get ugly or something. So they give me I said, what do you want? I said, this is me and my homeboy want to get this from you guys. Who's your homeboy? And I go, Ben Franklin, eh? I show him the $100. Put it right there. Here. And I walk out, and I'm squeezing my cheeks together, walking down the street.
Don't shoot me in the back.
And we got a search warrant already because
Yeah.
we had one of our UCs do a buy.
So second buy, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're fit up.
So they wanted someone to do it that wasn't familiar out there because I was just new to the crew.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in there. Benny Chavez, we used to call him Rain Man because he looked like Rain Man. He ran, and he was eating the smoked salmon. I'm like, what are you guys partying in here?
I almost died.
So okay, here's the buy. I got the buy. So then we had patrol come in and we hit it. And then the Melvin Times, I told you motherfuckers that was a cop. And see, greed got him.
Yeah? Yeah, always the money. The money, right? Tunnel vision.
So after that, I started talking to some of the UCs. Hey man, don't be wearing no watch. That's a giveaway.
Yeah.
But I had a long sleeve Pendleton on.
Yeah.
And no tattoos.
Yeah.
And they go, you got tattoos on, boy? They'll pull your shirt up and shit.
That's, like when we search, they do the same shit.
Yeah.
They do the same shit.
So I never really did much of that. I would do street buys.
Mm-hmm.
I'd get in the piece of shit car they had. And I used my car. I had a 60 Valiant.
Your own car?
It was a 60 Valiant red. It looked like the Batman mobile.
You drove it around.
And they pull up these poor bices, man. They're done. Hey, what are they, Holmes? Uno, 12. Whatever.
Yeah.
They'd come up. And they'd have like 5 rocks or so. And like, which one do you want? Right? So I'd pick one and, I'd give them the 20. And I'd get on the radio leaving. Hey, yeah, that guy over there with the jacket, that just sold to me.
Yeah.
And he's putting it in his, he's got a baggie that he puts in his waistband, whatever. So there's times I went and I bought fucking dope in my raid gear.
No way.
And they're going, hey, you're a cop. Yeah, but cops use dope too,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
In your Ray jacket?
Yeah. We were laughing.
And they would sell?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
They would come back and arrest them. But you're a cop. I goes, yeah, that's why you're in jail.
You're killing me. Oh, my God.
I had fun, but I'll be honest with you. I had a better time working OSS.
Oh, it's a fun job.
I really did. I mean, it got tiring. We'd get up early, run around the county helping. But it was cool.
Yeah.
And then as a supervisor, I didn't have to do shit. I'd do my monthly stats and shit.
Yeah.
And actually, George Zagursi was good to work for.
Oh, yeah.
Mike was good to me, man. I mean, he called me, I'm working early. So I'm leaving. He's walking in. He goes, hey, Eric, how you doing? I go, oh, Mike, talk a little bit. He says, I'll see you later. So I get home and the phone rings. Hello? Eric, hey, what's up, Mike? What's going on? Something happened on earlies I don't know about. I was in the field. I need to come back to the station. Mike, I just got home. Did you know about what you wanted to say to me when you saw me walking out the door? Are you messing with me? He says, come back. I need to talk to you. So I go down there and we close the doors. And he goes, I need a favor from you. This is why you want someone beat up or what? And he goes, no. He says, I need someone to work PMs and earlies, Friday, Saturday, Friday into Saturday, Saturday into Sunday, right? 2 double shifts.
Shit.
10-hour shifts.
Shit.
And I go, yeah, huh? And he goes, but I'll give you the rest of the time off.
Okay.
And I go, how long is that going to be? He said, until I get some good lieutenants here. And I'm like,
What station?
Pico.
Okay.
And I go, what's wrong with the ones that are here now? He says, they don't know what they're doing.
Oh, shit.
They don't know how to. He says, I don't have to work, because when I was working the earlies and they didn't have a lieutenant, I was the watch commander. And, I knew how to do all that stuff.
Yeah,
Make sure he gets notified when certain significant incidents occur, blah, blah, blah. And the chief's memo and all that. They weren't doing chief's memos. And I was supposed to do that?
What?
And I'm like, yeah.
A lieutenant said that?
Yeah. Well, some of those guys never had a lot of patrol or anything.
Who was bumping them? Who was pushing them up?
Probably the brass. I don't know.
Just quick marchers. That's what. Just riding the ladder fast. We had a lot of those. We didn't have that at OSS though. Our sergeants were badass. We had good sergeants. We had exceptions, but most of them were really good.
Craig Ditch, Al Harris, a pretty good guy.
Dwayne, Liam, even Sal.
Sal was good. I mean,
I love Sal. My boy.
Shotgun Sal. He was so funny.
Sal's still funny as hell. I had him in
breakfast. We could have breakfast once in a while, and oh god,
Sal's such a cool dude. He sat right there telling me his stories. It was Catalina days, and it was fun, man. It was a good time.
Yeah,
we had fun here.
He circumvents patrol. I mean, he ended up at Altadena, but
circumvented patrol.
I'm making that extra pay for being on Catalina.
Yeah, he had some good rides, but he had some stories in Catalina with like carnage and blood and murder. Like, how the hell did you find that in Catalina? But he did. It kind of follows him, I think.
He did the dope stuff over there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember that. Cartel stuff was over there. It was big.
And I remember Felix did something, and they ended up searching that singer's boat. What was her name? Oh God, it's been around for a long time. Found a bunch of coke and stuff, and then he'd go over there in the restaurants and do heroin buys.
Yeah,
from the cooks.
Yep, there was a lot of that. They had when I was leaving, I was helping them out with some stuff where they were doing the fast boats from Mexico to the backside, and they would drop the boats. They're just getting the boats.
Yeah,
and there's a really good detective over there, Justin Martin. I knew him, Justin Martin from Pico. Remember, he was a white shirt civilian.
Yeah, he was a report writer.
Yeah, he was our scriber.
Really?
Yeah, remember he used to come to our warrants with us. we used to bring Justin to everything. Well, he became a deputy, and now he's at Catalina. But before I left, I was helping him with some stuff over there.
Yeah, Justin, I saw him not too long ago at Gary Wiggins' barbecue.
He's a good dude, man.
Yeah,
he's a good dude. Good dude.
He became a deputy.
Yeah, he tells stories about when he. When we kind of blessed him because he'd always come to our warrants. He would let us bring him, and we would have him scribe and let him do any search warrants. But he was always with us. He wanted to be a deputy. And Mike Cowett said, "You're now OSS," and took off his pin and put on chest and just slammed the little chest.
Like
and
he's doing a Navy SEAL thing.
So Justin's sitting there bleeding, dude, just bleeding. And all of us, I think it was Ponce, were all just, oh, God damn it, Mike. He just made this kid bleed. And he took it. He just took it.
Oh, he could. He's a big boy.
He's a tough kid.
Well, I had a reserve at Pico.
It was after
He
I
was
left.
my mechanic, too.
No way. No way.
Yeah, he had his own
Oh,
shop.
you're talking about Tommy, Noel's best friend.
Yeah.
He fixed my car like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, I used to take
God, I can't remember his name. Bender.
Tommy Bender.
Good dude.
Guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he would train with us and stuff.
He always came to our warrants.
And I go, you want to come to the warrant? Yeah.
I forgot that.
And he goes, one day, he goes, hey, I'm tired of taking the back. I says, okay, then. You want to go front? Yeah.
Put him in.
I put him in. I trusted him just like I would with the other guys.
No, he was squared away.
Yeah.
He was squared away. I liked him coming on the warrants.
He's gonna move to Montana. He's having a big ass
Really?
home built out there.
He still have his shop?
No, he sold it.
I remember him and Noel were doing those Mini Coopers for a while.
They'd get them from England.
Little Mini Coopers.
So
They were.
Noel would drive one in.
It's like a
So what I
shoebox.
used to do, I'd pick
Pick it up and move it.
and I'd move it into Larathan's spot, the captain's spot. So no, Larathan would come in and goes, "Hey, who's guard
In my spot. No's a good dude too. I like
talk to him periodically.
Yeah, if you ever talk to him, tell him I say hello. I like No. He's a good dude.
He always would complain, but man, that guy could write.
Yeah.
Him, Hank, all you guys. Man, I didn't have. I really didn't have to worry about shit.
No.
You know what means something to me? Fight a guy that has a Bowie knife that's 11550B PCP, and I had that happen to me out at Temple and Rosemary one time. Lomas gangster, man. He was firing a cut up his big ass Bowie knife. So I see him. It's August down the street, right? And he's wearing a long black trench coat.
Oh yeah.
And he's sweating.
Oh yeah.
And he's holding this paper bag like this. Mm-hmm. And as they drive by real slow, he looks at me, and there's a trash can. He puts it in there. He keeps on walking. So I jam him. I cut him off. I go, "Come here, man." And also he opens that coat up, and then
Whoa.
I could have shot him.
Could have dumped him.
Yeah. But back then, we didn't have Berettas. We didn't have radios.
Yeah, you had the Smiths.
And it threw the mic out the window so you could talk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Remember?
So there's this poor guy, this old guy, he's mowing his lawn right there. This guy went over the patrol car hood. I mean, like that on top of me. I wouldn't have had time. And the fight's on, dude.
Oh, no way.
And he's getting it. I'm like, I'm trying to get to my gun. But the dude's like stronger than shit, right?
Well, PCP.
Yeah.
Superman.
So I'm hitting this guy with everything I got. Elbows, punches, headbutts, everything I got, right? And I finally get one cuff on him, and then I put the other one on the bike bumper, on the rack.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
done.
Right? So I get on there, I need help at it. So the old guy I'm yelling at him, called the station, but he was petrified.
Oh, yeah, he saw something. He could
He's
never
just, right? So they get there, right? And I was working the Burke team at the time, so my two partners, Tony Wilshon and Harold Flint, get there first. They look at me and my uniform's all tore. My badge is just hanging off. And they go, "Dude." So Harold brings that knife on. I'm not kidding you. It was about this big. He got me with that. It had been
you
over.
were done. So, how the hell did you fight that guy? With that
I don't know, man. 'Cause, man, I was, like I said, I couldn't have shit a penny, and got him all hooked up. Yeah. We had to, hobble him.
Oh, he's still fighting that.
Oh, dude.
Still, even after the fight,
yeah,
basically
he was
over.
kicking, and
oh shit.
So the sergeant got there, wanted to tase him, and I go, "They ain't gonna work, sorry." And didn't have the M26s, the old tasers.
No. All you could do is tie him up. That's in those days.
So we just hobbled him, and I took him to the 13th floor, LCMC. And I get up there, and the deputies up in the 13th. Oh, shit, that must have been a hell of a fight. Yeah. So, the nurses come over, and they're, cleaning me up.
Yeah.
And they strap his ass down. But before I left, I went back to that garbage can. It was a mayonnaise jar full of PCP.
What the hell?
And there's a guy across the street, old Marine. I used to stop and talk to him. Vietnam vet.
Yeah.
Had the flag, Marine, flag.
Yeah.
And he says, there's always something going around here, man. I go, "Yeah, I know. I cruise by." He says, "Yeah, I see you. That was a hell of a fight." I said, "Why didn't you come over and help me?" He says, "Well, I didn't know if you're going to start shooting that guy. I wanted to be a good witness."
He's kind of right. Because you could have.
Yeah.
You could have dumped him.
Are you kidding me?
Knife and PCB. You could have.
I'm trying to fight him off.
And they're raging animals with that shit in their system.
Dude,
fucking crazy.
My arms are sore.
And you were powerlifting, right?
Yeah.
You were powerlifting? How much were you benching back then?
Well, then I was probably about 465.
Holy moly. Because I remember huge.
I was hitting the iron hard then,
Yeah.
you know.
And then so that's probably what probably helped you or saved you.
Oh, are you kidding me?
You didn't have the strength.
Me and my partner, Harold, we'd go run or jog. He would run, but because I weighed 275 pounds at the time.
Yeah.
Go jog 5 miles. There's a course around the station. Then we come back and go to the weight room, work out. And then we'd go 10-8. The first place we go, I'd say go to Burger King. And I'd get 4 Whoppers, 4 chocolate shakes, and 4 fries.
Oh, my God. Were you competing at this time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he goes, how can you eat that? And I go, like this. And I'd go, you want some? You want one? And he goes, no, I like that.
4 Whoppers.
And then later on shift, we'd go to Wendy's and I'd get 2 baked potatoes with chili.
Yeah.
And he goes, what's wrong with you? I said, I'm hungry. But people don't realize when you're you're lifting all that weight all the time like that. Your body needs the energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then running around, trying to chase stupid idiots.
Finding people with knives and shit.
So he was the guy, he was a runner. And then I was the guy that come up and put the coup de grace. Just sit on him or whatever.
Just hold him down. Yeah.
But, now I have to lose weight. So I'm down from 255 to 235.
It's good.
But I don't need to weigh that at 68 years old.
Not anymore. But if you were competing, I remember you doing the Olympics, the police Olympics and all that stuff.
Yeah, I did decently. I think I only took a gold medal twice.
Only.
And,
Only.
the rest of the time was like the bronze and silver. And there's some guys in there.
There's some savages in that department. You did it twice?
Yeah.
Shit.
And then I went to
That's
the World
outstanding.
Games.
Huh? Oh, the World Games too?
I got a 4th place there.
Uh-huh.
But you know what? I mean, I trained my ass off.
I remember.
And I was able to train with some professional power lifters. My first meet in Fullerton, 1984, and don't forget, I took 4th place. And I actually bench pressed more than I squatted.
Are you serious? What was the bench?
365.
Oh, Jesus.
And my squat was like 325.
But you moved up.
Yeah, so what happened is there's a couple guys there. I knew a couple of them. But there are other guys that were their professional powerlifters. So Bill Hartman, Tommy Eldridge, and Tommy Harris, they're all gone now. But
yeah,
they Bill Hartman was LAPD lieutenant. Tommy Eldridge was a chief for LA County Fire. Then of course Tommy Harris worked the sheriff's department, and he was at Temple as a sergeant. So they said, "You come and lift with us." And so I started lifting. They started me at bare minimum for technique because
Really?
my technique was terrible.
Oh, yeah. They showed you how to do it right.
Just the bar.
Oh, really?
Probably for about a month.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
Started you over.
And then progressed. And then, of course, me eating like a hog. But I met some dudes. Larry Kidney, Pomona cop, was one of the first guys to squat over 1,000 pounds.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Billy Welcome was a CHP, squatted over 900 pounds.
These guys are cops.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, Billy's thighs are so big that
1,000 pounds.
Yeah, he had to put Vaseline on his thighs because they rubbed.
They chafed.
Yeah. And then there's other guys.
1,000 pounds.
Bill Hartman. He was at his age, man. He was squatting close to 800, benching over 5. All those, Tommy Eldridge was 65. He was squatting over 6 at 198 pound class.
65 years old? What's wrong with these guys? Or what's right with these guys?
Well, one thing that I was, even growing up, I never got really big or buffed out. But
you were huge when you were my sergeant. You were a big man.
I was strong.
Yeah, you're in shape.
But
I remember you were competing when you were the sergeant of my team.
Yeah. So I actually started a team at Pico.
You did?
Yeah.
With Ruben?
No, Ruben didn't want to do it.
Oh, yeah. Ruben was big.
Yeah, Ruben was strong.
Yeah. Same. Ronnie was a monster. These guys are huge.
Duval?
Yeah, they're body.
That's what, remember when he did that? He had that fat removal,
Oh,
and it was on TV. And I was watching there, and he was asleep. And they're tossing him around like he was a Play-Doh, man. I got to go back and forth.
I got to get that video. I got to find it.
That was hilarious. and I go, dude. Then he gains it all back.
Yeah.
I go, what'd you do that for? Well, they did it for free. I says, all that pain for that? Stop eating what you eat.
And now he's walking on the beach every day. He's got a tan. He's lost a lot of weight. He's looking
Has he?
good. Yeah. He's been in here a couple times.
He was funny, dude.
Oh, he was my partner at OSS at Industry. We had a blast. Good dude.
There was, but Scotty and I used to work out down in the weight room in Industry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he benched 505 once.
He's huge, man.
So he comes in the next day.
505?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And not just for one rep.
Oh, no way.
It was like 3 reps.
He's pushed it 3 times. Oh, man. He's
and
giant. Like a Viking, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. We called him Viking.
Well, he wasn't that big when we worked CJ. I mean, he was big. He was probably about 230 pounds. But so he comes in one day and he goes, my arm was hurting me really bad last night. And it's kind of swollen, so I went to the emergency room. He got an airline fracture.
He didn't even realize he broke his arm lifting. Oh, man.
But Scotty,
A good
the
dude.
White Buffalo.
Good dudes, man. That was a good team. I like those guys. Because I would get while they were all in that trailer.
They all were. I mean, I never had a problem with any of them.
Nah, they're good dudes. And they worked hard.
Yeah, that's why I say that's why I say I had a better time working OSS.
Oh, yeah, than anyone.
Working with Johnny Clark at night was great. Johnny was a worker, man. And he knew how to talk to these gangsters. And I talked to him a while ago, but he was having problems with some injury, and the surgery wasn't working out.
I talked to him. He's doing okay. He's doing a little bit better. He's getting there. Johnny's a good dude.
Yeah.
Johnny's a really good dude. Hank and I worked together in the car at Pico, and we used to have a blast together because he's just a good dude, man. Fun to work with because he's always getting into shit, but it's not work because it's fun doing it. He knew he's going to do his part. There was no arguments. We always had fun.
Yeah, Hank was good.
I would like to work with him longer.
Yeah,
I know you loved OSS, and I know you left when they moved you, but was it the same reason why basically I left is just the brass again? Started changing. I started making different moves.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some stuff going on that some guys that were working hard, some old timer, the guys have been there for years and years. Like I said, when they get tired, they get burned out.
Yeah.
So it's like with Mike. Mike was burned out. Cowett was burned out. So, my Cowett got to go to homicide, and Mike went back to patrol. I think it was a good thing because Mike ended up promoting the sergeant and lieutenant.
Yes, I got him restarted.
Yeah. So, I'd see him out there driving around, and we'd, meet up, and, he'd show up on some of the containments and stuff. You have to think about stuff. I know that when I was like working Pico as a watch commander, my second time, because when I was working dope there, they promoted and stayed there, which was nice.
Yeah.
And I already knew the area. And,
yeah. It's a good area, man.
Yeah, I loved working there.
It's all right there in that little spot.
Seriously, Adam, I loved working Pico.
Pico was fun.
And there was good guys that worked there. And some not so, but you can have that anywhere. But I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And when I got sick, I was kind of like, man. But
you missed it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I miss working with the guy. Rothkins he called me in, he goes, all my TOs have less than 2 years, some a year and a half.
Oh, yeah. True.
And they don't, all they bring in is 11550 stimulant. I go, Mike, man, there's a shitload of hypes out here, heroin.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And I go, and he says, there's other things too. And I go, I see it, you know. So this is the second time I'm out there. And he goes, I don't care what you do. You're going to have to do your job. I go, oh, my God, I won't shirk my responsibilities. Mm-hmm. You're going to give me my responsibilities to do, but I'm going to do it. And you know me, I'm not going to sit still driving around all night. I can't do that.
Yeah.
That's not me. He goes, yeah, I get it. I said, you're going to have to buffer some stuff with some of these lieutenants, these watch commanders. Mm. And he says, and I go, I know more than them. And I get it. And he goes, show these guys stuff.
Okay.
So when I got to Early's, I was looking around, I go, so I go in, I go, these are the guys I want on Early's.
You picked them. Nice.
And he goes, okay. Because some of the guys wanted to go to days and stuff like that. And other guys, they wanted to work on. So what I started doing, say if a deputy made a good arrest on a gangster with a gun and a bunch of dope, guess what? We're writing a warrant. We're going back to the pad.
From patrol? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it didn't happen all the time.
But they're learning.
If it was dead or something, boom. Yeah. And, of course, they hadn't gone through the search warrant class, so I had to sign be the author, but I didn't care.
No, it was right.
So, and I wouldn't call Mike. I just sent him a text, and he'd say, happy hunting.
No shit.
Yeah.
What did DB think of that?
They didn't care.
They didn't care?
They'd get all pissed. But I was the one that usually ended up filing the cases.
I'm not going to tell you shit.
No, because, they'd complain. Dude, when we were there working OSS, they were always complaining, hey, this is a gang case. Mm-hmm. No, it's not. Yeah. Read They
try to give us domestics all the time. Yeah. And I remember that. Not taking that 99.
One of the ejects, I'm not going to mention his name because he's a good guy, but they're lazy. So Montavia kept on coming up.
And Pico?
On the printouts.
Okay.
This guy's a Montavia gangster. He's not a targeted gang. It's not a targeted gang for us. Okay? We were dealing with targeted gangs.
Yeah, of course.
And I says, no, we're not picking that up. Mm-hmm. Oh, you have to. No, I don't have to do anything. I says, I don't work here. My office is out there.
I have a different
I says, if you want to come out there and work on it, then we'll see.
Yeah.
And those guys, man. And then, Joe, what's his name? Chavez.
Joe Chavez.
He used to get so uptight when hey, Joe, he'd come in he'd come out to talk to me. And what about this? I go, what about it?
They would try to get us to 99, everything to them, because, they had a lot. I get it. They had a lot. But the nexus has got to be there. Because I read the paper. I read the paper industry because I got there so damn early. Then I would dish them out. That's where it got to. And Sal was like, go for it. I'd go across the street to Jackson and we'd fight, man. Because he's trying to give me everything. I'm like, hey, Sarge, I'm sorry, man. We don't take domestics. We take violent crime. That's what we do. And the certain gangs. And he gets...
that's the thing is, and I would have briefings. Mm-hmm. Mike would have this before I went back to the station. They'd have briefings with the sergeant lieutenants. Mm-hmm. So I'd go in there and say, "Hey, look, guys, this is the policy. Here it is. Our policy, and this all says, we do not handle anything unless it's a targeted gang."
Mm-hmm. I remember.
Now we might pick up something that if one of our suspects is involved.
If we want to.
Right. So,
or a nexus to something else, another
Right.
case that we're working.
so I mean, it happened a couple times.
Yeah, you would say, I remember telling you, like, I want that because I'm building on this one person, and it might be a domestic.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, I want it because I want to.
Yeah, so
I want to have a
didn't-
conversation with his girlfriend.
I didn't. Okay, but
Mike Rosin's was fun.
oh god.
You got to work for him. That's badass. I wish I would have worked for him.
Well, we worked together at Dope, and like I said, Mike was sharp,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and he left me alone as a patrol
He
sergeant.
trusted you.
But he knew I wasn't going to do stupid stuff.
Well, you mentioned something from the beginning. Your team was running on autopilot, and they called you when they needed you. Those are those things that happen. It's passed down.
Well, you know what? When we didn't have enough people at the cruise, not so much Norwalk, but at Pico, well, Noah would go on his,
Military stuff all the
yeah.
time.
and it would just be Hank.
Yep. Yep.
So it was him and I. So I was picking up cases,
Yep.
and Hank and I are driving around, interviewing. I mean, I didn't mind.
Well, Liam picked up cases too. I mean, in Century, he would pick them up. If the sergeants step up, if you've ever watched this show, it comes up all the time. OSS sergeants. I said it several times on this show. OSS had the greatest sergeants in the whole department, by far, to me, the greatest at the time when I was there, and I can name them all. But we just mentioned the names earlier. It was a fact, and when they all started leaving, that's when you started seeing the OSS detectives going, I'm leaving too.
Well, at one point, a lot of guys, the detectives, started to get a little, what do they say, disappointed, because they're being told not to do this, not to do that, and I'm like, I get it, things are changing, but we don't just deal with the common denominator out on the street.
No.
We're dealing with people that are murderers, like the sign says, scoundrels.
Yep.
And even when I left OSS and went back to Pico as a patrol sergeant, I knew a lot of those gang members out there.
Oh yeah.
And Johnny Clark,
Yeah.
he'd come to me and he'd give me a piece of paper. Hey, I'm looking for this guy. Okay. And I'd put it in briefing or whatever. But I'm the one that found him.
You would do that all the time, though.
Yeah.
I remember that. You would go, I got a guy over here, and we'd go to your car. What are you doing out here, Sarge? Well, I found him. And you would find guys all the time.
Johnny put it out a briefing one time on this guy. They call him Ghost.
Yeah.
And he's from Pico Viejo. On parole. He's 245, 9mm Beretta, riding a silver bicycle. So I'll find him. So I go over there.
Yeah.
And his name was Jesus, I think. Oh, yeah. So I pull him alongside. He's riding the bike. And I go, Jesus, pull over. And he starts pedaling faster, right? So I let him get ahead of me, right? So I start honking the horn. So then he makes the turn onto Orange, right? And he crashes into a car. And then he gets up and he runs down this driveway. So I'm chasing down the driveway. Well, my fat ass couldn't get over the fence like he did, and he scaled it like a cat. So I just get units rolling and, coordinate the units to close off the area.
Yeah.
So I go, I need a K9 out here. Well, they didn't want to respond. And they calls me. Are you sure he's 417? I said, when I see a gun in a guy's hand, I think that's 417.
Yeah.
Are you sure? I said, never mind, forget it. So, actually, a K9 from
Whittier?
no, from Monterey
Montebello
Park.
Oh, Monterey Park. He brought a dog down?
He came out.
Oh, no way.
And I go, no, we can't use you, man.
They don't want us to use them. It
Right.
sucks, but they will. They'll let us use
Yeah.
it. They'd love to do it.
So I got everybody. So remember, Mark Bailey was there.
Yeah.
So we're searching. So Mark Lopez, one of the patrol guys in
Yeah.
his training.
I know
Remember
Mark.
Mark?
I know Mark.
Good dude.
Yeah, very good.
They go, hey, Mark, let's go back there. This guy didn't get out of here. I had it
He's in ground.
closed off.
He went to
too
ground.
fast.
He went to ground. You think?
Yeah. So I see this in this house. I see a hand come out between the drapes, and there's like a tool shed right here. It's and there's a door. So I knock on the door. I said, "Come out, or we're gonna let the dog in." I didn't have a dog. So Lopez starts. Woo, woo. So the guy opens the door, and it's a mess. There's tools and stuff all over, and it's him.
Yeah.
And he has no shirt on. He's in his boxers,
Yeah.
holding his jeans. I go, get out. He goes, what, man? I'm sleeping. I said, no, you're not. Boy, you're all sweaty and everything. So I hook him up, and Bailey goes like that. And on the garage on the other side, on the other property, there's the gun.
There's the gun.
Right. So he's a good little caper.
I was there.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was there. You said exactly the way it was. And we said the same thing. Sarge's got another one. He's got another one. You were always catching people.
Well, I mean, I knew him.
Yeah, but you wouldn't just sit in the office. You would go hunt with us. We would tell you, hey, Sarge, we got this going on. And you would remember, and you would go down the streets we told you about. And we would all try to find them, including you. You would go, and sometimes I'd be in the car with you because I remember me and you, we got a couple good hooks.
Yeah.
But we talked about something I got to say it before I forget, is the dog. I remember watching you get so pissed off one time because we did a house. We did a search. It was a warrant, and we searched it. So for some reason, we're in the garage, and we called the dog out, but we called the dope dog out. And you and I are standing in the garage door just waiting for the dog. We could see the car coming, and we're going, I hope it's not her. I hope it's not her. I hope it's not her. And then she gets out of the car, and you go, shit, because we know that dog isn't going to find shit. And you go, hold on. And you went back in the garage, and we knew where some dope was. It was on the coffee table. There was a little bag of, I think it was meth. It might have been meth. And you put a magazine over the top of it. You just got a magazine, you went like this.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then she brought in the dog, and the dog went through the whole garage.
Missed it.
We had found everything already, but we wanted the dog to scent. So you see things, and you go, just leave it. Let the dog discover it. Don't touch anything. Just leave it alone. You know how we do. Even with evidence, don't touch it. That dog missed everything in the garage. And then you go, God damn it, look it. And you pick up the magazine, and nothing but excuses. And you said to me, it disappointed you more because you came from dope, and that dog should have been worked. And it's a waste of a dog because that dog isn't, it's not the dog's fault.
No, it's not. But you know what, what's his name? The big guy.
Wilkie?
No.
Oh, Wilkie had a bite dog.
No, he's dope dog.
Joe Delora? No, Delora had gun dog.
Sugar.
Sugar, okay.
His dog was good.
Yeah.
And Jeff Bennett's dog was good.
See, that's what we're talking about, the dogs that are great. And then you had that dog that didn't find
Bennett's
shit.
Dog, was blind.
No way.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Because we'd walk in the office of the industry, and he's laying down next to Jeff, and you walk by, and he bites you, and I go, hey, Jeff, what the heck? And then one time he got Betty, the secretary.
I did not know this, Eric. Blind dope dog.
So finally Jeff figured it out. He was blind. He went to the vet, and he goes, hey, your dog's blind.
This is hilarious.
Oh, dude.
Oh, my God. He just nip at people because they got too close to him. He felt them close.
So Jeff ended up, adopting the dog.
Yeah, they usually
And then Jeff promoted, and, he wasn't. But, I had a good time working dope, too. I worked with some good crews. I like I said, working with the guys on the station crews and stuff. Majors was okay. Sometimes you had to have a suitcase in your trunk.
Yeah.
One minute you'd be down San Diego, and next minute you'd be going towards Bakersfield or something, And I think I was only there for about 3 months. And then they said, well, do you want to go back to your crew or whatever? Because they set me on loan.
Yeah.
I says, yeah, you know what? because I have my kids. They're still young, and if you're married and have young kids, majors ain't the thing.
No.
But I pretty much all I did at majors, surveillance stuff.
Yeah. I guess I can't do the surveillance sitting on a post. I die.
No,
It
sitting
kills
in a
me.
van and all that, or your car.
Sweating.
But
Is that the team that put you in the hallway? Made you put your desk in the hallway?
no,
You don't remember?
that was an industry crew.
I remember that. You said I got to work and my desk was in the hallway.
That was the old guys at industry.
Yeah.
Joe Seeger, Ed Shellnut, Benny Chavez, Ed Jameson. They were all old timers, man.
You had to pay your dues, new guy.
Yeah.
So they put you in the hallway. I remember you told me that was
God,
crap.
they were hilarious.
That's funny stuff.
They used to have tattoo parties.
Yeah.
And Benny, I walk in one time, and he's on his hands and knees. I go, "What are you doing, Rain Man?" I used to call him Rain Man. And the guy's like doing on his back. I go, "Why are you having a checkerboard on your back?" And it's not a checkerboard; it's a chessboard. I go, "Why are you doing that?" Well, in case I ever go to prison, they have a place to put.
No, he did.
Yeah, and I go,
Oh my
God.
God.
Benny, what's wrong with you, man? I go, and Joe Seeger,
my God.
our crew sergeant, Joe, good guy. He was funny, man. A Vietnam vet, Marine Corps. He was funny. He would come back with some stuff that was, man, we'd all be busting up. And he when the major thing Arco Narco thing hit, he wanted out.
He knew about it.
Yeah, he wanted. So he demoted and went to homicide.
Really?
Yeah.
That was a big mess.
That was a bad time for us.
Yeah. And Sal talked about it. Sal had some connection with his sister to all that.
Right. Yeah.
He told the whole story and tragically was killed. But I don't know the connection. But she was part of that whole Arco Narco thing.
Yeah.
That's just a black stain on our department for a while.
Well, we couldn't go to court and testify. I'd make a hand-to-hand buy, and the judge wouldn't buy it. He'd kick it. He'd be testifying. Yeah, that's the guy I bought the dope from. Oh, it's just you and him? Yeah. Oh, well, I can't believe you.
They were connecting everybody and trying to get everybody, even though it was a team by themselves, but they tried to say everybody was the same, basically. And they were making them do like they had to prove where they had money and how they got money. I bought a house, and how'd you get that money?
Well, get this. When this thing hit, I had just got the dope.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at CV Altadena crew. So my wife and I just bought a house.
Mm-hmm.
And I had saved about $60,000 through the years, when I was on the department. Because I knew I wanted to buy a house eventually. Yeah. So when this thing hit, I'm at the crew. And I get a call from headquarters. You got to come down, or these FBI guys want to talk to you.
What?
And I go, what?
Yeah.
Whatever. So I talked to my crew sergeant at the time. He says, yeah, you got to go down. So I go down there, and there's two guys, and they're talking to me about how long you've been narco. I said, shit, I've been like 2 weeks. How many search warrants you been on? Maybe 1 or 2. I don't know. I'm still trying to learn the ups and downs and all the, stuff. Then one guy blurts, where'd you get this money for this house? You put down cash. And I go, I saved it. What are you talking about? He says, well, we need you to get all the receipts, deposits, and withdrawals. And I go, time out. I'm not getting anything.
Yeah.
You want your investigation, not mine. You can go get a subpoena, duces tectum. Here's the bank I go to. You can get a search warrant.
Do it yourself, yeah.
I'm not doing your work.
Yeah.
Well, you're not cooperating. I am cooperating. I'm here. I'm just telling you that you got to do your job.
Yeah.
So this is going on and on. So I finally say, you know what? I'm getting hungry. Can you get me a cup of coffee and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Man, that one guy did not like that. And he got up and just... And so the other guy goes, he kind of smirked.
You're telling feds this?
Yeah. What are they going to do?
I'm just saying.
I didn't do anything wrong.
I know, but
Send me back to patrol?
I expect nothing less from you, Eric.
You know? You're going to send me back to patrol?
You're going to put me back in the jail? What are you going to do to
Whatever,
me? Yeah,
you know?
dude, what are you going to hurt me with? Yeah.
So
2 weeks. You don't want to be in a narco for 2 weeks? And they're doing, oh, Jesus, come on, guys.
So anyway, they ended it. Nothing ever happened. You know, I didn't have to do
not.
all that BS for them. And then I get back to the crew, and then I go, I had my desk, and on my desk I had a lock with a hasp on there. Because I used to put I had two 2-inches in there that I would carry if I was going to do a buy. So I put them and I lock them in there. So I come in, the lock's cut off.
What
Yeah.
the hell?
And then my desk blotter's upside down, right?
They did a search on you.
So I go, they did it to the whole
Oh,
crew,
okay.
right? So I'm going, what the hell's going on? And so my crew sergeant says, hey, the captain wants to see you. And she had my guns here and a throwing star, right? And I go, what's up, Captain?
Oh, yeah.
I go, what's up, ma'am? Where'd you get this? This is a felony. And I go, that ain't a felony. That's not even a real throwing star. And I go, where'd you get it from? You know?
Yeah.
And I go, it was under your desk blotter. Really? I just got this. I haven't moved that thing since I got here. So when you look at the bottom of the blotter,
It's still there.
the stain's on there, right? And I go, did you happen to look at the stain on there where that thing was? Now, how long does it have to sit there before it does it? A long time, right? Those guns, they're mine. I bought them. How do we know? There's a thing called
How do we know?
automatic, the automated firearm system. Yeah.
APHIS.
I says, what, your detectives could have ran the serial numbers, right?
Or the secretaries.
Or secretary.
All the nine secretaries back there. Yeah.
And she's quiet.
Of course.
I says, go do it now while I'm sitting here. Wow, that's kind of unusual.
Or get me a radio. I'll do it right now. I'll get Sarcy to do it.
She's like, that's kind of unusual. I go,
Yeah,
yeah,
unusual.
why is that unusual?
In your desk. Locked desk.
Right. So I still had that 2-inch that had the Anaheim PD stamp on it. And I bought, they were selling those at, I forget where we bought them. Out here somewhere, some gun shop that were selling them because Anaheim PD decided they didn't want them.
Yeah, they're getting rid of all their guns.
Yeah. So me and my brother bought it. He bought one, I bought one.
Nice guns.
Yeah. And then I had a Ruger.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. And so they come back to me. And I go, and she goes, okay, that's it. So I had a good time. I mean, it's stuff like that. Always, we're always being questioned, you know.
I just couldn't get past the mission. I just didn't do it. I didn't like dope at all. I didn't like it at all. I've said it many times. It just didn't fit, especially going from OSS to that. I went from OSS to ComNet, and I ran my happy ass right back as soon as I could. But no, actually, they threw me out. They threw me out. A certain sergeant couldn't handle it, man. He tried to tell me something, and I. It's not my fault. It's Eric's fault because I watched you. You're not going to tell me something that's wrong, Sarge. You know me well enough. I worked for you for many years. I respect anybody who shows respect, and I'm not going to be disrespected.
Well, that's my uncle years ago. He was on the sheriff's department. He says, "Remember where you came from when you promote."
Absolutely.
You know, and I wasn't. I'm not. Why do I want to mess with the guys that are going to make me look good? Right?
Perfectly said.
You know, and like I said, if there's, you know, there's a couple of times I had to say things, you know, but I never had any problems except for when I was working at Lakewood Gad with those guys. I don't know how some got there. I think there were problem children at other units.
They do that. Oh, he'd be great at get. What do you call that? I think there's a word for it. Oh, he'll be great at get. They're just trying to dump him from the station. We had a lot of those guys later. They started coming in later.
So, I mean, they did decent work, you know. They made some good arrests. But it was like, I don't want to be a babysitter.
You shouldn't have to be. Not at that unit.
Yeah. And if you don't know what your job is, then why are you here? Mm-hmm. What do you want us to do? Well, why don't you go out and hook up gangbangers? What is so hard about that?
You're not getting calls. It is your job to go do suppression.
I remember working Get. I'd go out and I'd go down like the Paramount,
Yeah.
you know, and hook up get some good dope arrests, right? Mm-hmm. And come in there, hey, and they'd be like,
where did you get this?
You know,
where did you get this at? Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just like, I don't have to say anything.
Huh.
I show you by what I do.
Yeah. I want to bring one in the cage. There's going to be someone sitting in the back seat.
You know.
That went away, though. Showing by your worth by hooking and booking. Even FI cards. If there's no booking out there and everybody's to ground, it happens. They see us. They go to ground. You can do still FI cards. You can still do dope. There's always something you can pivot. You know, there's no gangsters out tonight, and I'm jamming cars. Well, you know what? There's some dope.
The other thing too. A lot of times the secretaries at OSS were inputting the
FI cards. Well, at Norwalk, she was notorious for that.
So what I was doing, when I'd do one, I'd go when I had them. I'd like have 5 or 6. I'd go back and I'd do it myself.
Yeah. Because I remember I would say at Norwalk, I know this guy's supposed to be in Cal Gangs. I've FI'd him 2-3 times. And then G and I looked and the desk was full of them. That is your only damn job. And you're not FI.
G, the dude used to crack me up. There's times I couldn't laugh though. You know, because if I'd have been laughing, he'd have thought, okay.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
G and I still talk a lot. We still communicate a lot. But one of the things I remember about G is when you and I, and we all went to a warrant, and I think it might have been Ponce lifted up a couch and a mouse ran.
Oh.
And G went out the front door, and he went, I'll take the body and I'll sink him, and I'm going to sit. And he sat by the car the whole because of the mouse.
He was funny.
Oh, yeah, he's hilarious.
The guy that used to crack me up, though, he scared me when he drove. There was times I had to go to East L.A. because Rivera was on vacation or something. Was Bobby Gray.
Oh, Bobby Gray.
I used to call him Blue Hair.
Why Blue Hair?
Because he couldn't drive. Hitting the curbs and all. Like, hey, dude, what are you trying to kill us all?
Bobby and I were Get for a minute together. Bobby's cool, but I drove you around a lot. And even Dan came in here and goes, well, you know why you were driving. And I go, yeah, well, Eric wanted to take a nap. After a 2:00 warrant, Sergeant take a nap on the way back to this barn.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be up in Lancaster.
Yeah.
And I'd tell Bob, hey, you drive.
Yeah.
And he's driving like Mach 1, 90 miles. I go, dude, if this thing had wings on it, we'd be flying right now. Take it easy.
Just relax.
I go, your real estate transaction is going to be there when you get there. You know?
Now, I'm going to give it up here. Mike's big thing was we would eat breakfast after our warrant, and 2 seconds later, he had to download. I'm like, dude, did you even taste your food? Because we'd always be like halfway back. I got to pull over. I got to pull over. And that was the joke. Because as soon as Ponce eats, he's got to take a break. Fast.
Did he? Someone told me he had lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, he's thin. He was doing that 4-wheel drive Jeep thing where they go in the mountains and drive the Jeeps, and he's doing a lot of camping. Yeah, I still see him on the Star News with all his roundup people.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, he's still active. Ponce is cool. Ponce and I had a lot of fun times.
He was fun.
Yeah, we had good times. And I don't have a problem with anybody. I did my work. It's like you talked about OSS. You're responsible for your own shit. If I don't work and I don't do my shit, you're going to come and tell me. And we had certain people that didn't do stuff. And I hated that fact that we would get their cases, like they're behind, and I would get somebody else's cases. That was my pet peeve.
Yeah, you know what? Some someone would hand me a case. I'm not going to mention names. And to close out, I'm looking at this. Well, there's still workable info here.
Or nothing's been done.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, why you put this back on my... Because you need to work it.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
So, and then it get done.
Yeah.
And, hey, see what happened? Look what you got. Like I said, most of the guys went out there and, it's like you're going to have that anywhere.
Yeah, it happens. And, and people get in ruts. People have problems at home. People have issues. And I've seen it happen where guys can bounce back at different units like you talked about. Or just pick it up again at OSS. It happens all the time.
Stevie Scahill, they sent him down from industry.
I just saw Steve last week.
Did you?
At Joey Nanquil's benefit.
Oh, okay.
They had one barbecue at industry for Joey Nanquil. He's fighting. So they had a barbecue and everybody was there.
Yeah,
Scahill was there.
Yeah,
he had a stroke.
Steve did?
Yeah, he's better. He's getting better now.
Recently?
Yeah. He's walking a little. He's got a hitch in his...
I saw him. We hook up with some of the guys that work for me.
Steve's
still working.
Steve's cool.
Hook up.
Steve's cool. I'm trying to get him in here. I think he's going to come in. Well, it was fun to write warrants to me. I loved writing warrants.
Well, it's kind of self-satisfaction. You do a good case, and then you go out and boom,
wake them up.
Yeah.
Wake them up.
Oh, dark 30.
Wake them up.
Guess what?
I remember.
I didn't bring any coffee.
You might have been with me when I go, Mijo, time to go to school. And he looked up at me in bed.
There's a lot of that. I remember guys, especially when we're down in Compton, Mike would, hey, we got to get this guy out of bed. And the guy would look up some old timer, say some nasty shit to Mike. And and I'm laughing. I had to walk out of the room, right?
I know what you're saying because I heard him because he's on my team. Him and Leonard were funny, man. Those two, Leonard Rivas and him, would just go at it because they hated each other. It was a love-hate relationship, but Leonard just owned him. G owned him. They just owned him.
Yeah, but G was pretty sharp.
He's
when
fast.
It came to that, yeah.
He's fast.
Mike.
But Ponce, get dressed to go out and you put your vest on and all that stuff. And Ponce he's gonna get mad at me, but he'd powder himself. Like he'd put powder, like baby powder. And you'd walk in the office and be like in smoke. Like it would be like cloudy when you walked in the office. And Leonard goes, "What the hell did you powder? What did you powder?" And he was like making fun of him, and Ponce was getting mad. And he says, does your wife in the morning pick you up by your feet and then powder your butt? Ponce got so pissed off. Oh my God, it was on. They were screaming at each other. G would always, all day, just you, and just making fun of everybody.
Well, I told him one time, I go, G, you're hurting my ears, man. Come on.
You always told him that.
I go, dude, don't you ever stop? Where's your batteries at? I want to pull them out of your back.
You would say that shit to him all the time, Eric.
And he'd go, give me that look.
I would just crack up. I'd be at my desk just laughing, dude.
But, when he was at East LA, too.
Oh, he's an Energizer Bunny, man. The guy's got to have a lot of energy.
And then, what's his name? Burro. He'd get all over him and stuff. And
they would go at each other. Yeah.
And I'm like, you ain't going to win, man.
He's not going to stop. And
they'd have their own
area.
And then the officer, when Anthony Rivera would go on vacation or something, I'm sitting there and I'm just listening to bicker. And I'm cracking up, and I forget the secretaries. And she goes, "Hey, Sarge, you hear that?" And I go, "Yeah, just close the door or whatever, man. Let him have at it."
Yeah.
And then, what was his name? The guy that...
At East LA?
Yeah.
It wasn't Ralph.
No. Ralph.
Ralph Fernandez. There was Burro. There was Iggy.
Remember when what's his name grabbed his ass?
Oh, yeah. What the heck was that about? But I was never part of that. My guys were good. We had a good, tight crew, but nobody stepped over that line.
Like I said, we all had a good time. It was, God, I just remember when Jerry was killed. You know, I was a second sergeant on scene,
Shit. Mm-hmm.
and it was kind of there was blood all over the driveway, all the way out to the street. And Sal was down there, but and there was a tune-up masters right next to the apartment complex where Jerry was shot.
Mm-hmm.
And Sal did a good job of coordinating the units.
Yeah.
And man, it was like boom, boom, boom. We got down there and met up with. So one of the knuckleheads from the HG, this Tommy Blahos, who was one of the main players, been HG for years. His truck was there running, and his wallet and everything was on there. So he must have seen what went on.
He was probably there to pick him up, maybe.
Could be. So I got there, and I didn't see him, but he was not. So I turned the truck off, took his stuff. I go, this guy's going to be in the warrants tonight when we serve. But so the crew I had for searching on that street was the AV crew.
Mm.
So we started searching. Down, down, down. Yeah, there's an abandoned house right here. So we're walking around the yard, and there's the bathroom, and I look down, and there's a 38 round, brand new.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, hey.
I was standing next to you again on this one. I was in the backyard with you.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. We were doing door-to-door because I was there with you. I was on your team when Jerry was killed.
I knew the guy from previous arrest. And so he didn't have the horns at the time. When Colin Arp down there, he stops him.
Yeah.
He's on parole at the time. So he's a hype. And Colin goes, hey, Sarge, can you come down here? He says, he wasn't well versed with hypes. So I go down there and look at him, yeah, this guy's on 550.
Hmm?
Heroin. Checked him. Puncture wounds all over. So I go hook him up. So I was just gonna hook him up, man. The guy goes off.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, we're what the heck?
Unexpected.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we get him, hooked up, and he's telling Colin's on the way to the station. He's telling, I'll get one of these days. Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah. The guy had the gun.
In the room with him, and we were there because I was in the backyard. The rose hedges on the west side, and we were searching the rose hedges. And you went to the right. I think it was the east side.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then we were told to back out because we
So
were going door to door to door to door to door. Because I was there when you came in. You were in the car with everyone else because I rode from home.
I was his sergeant. We used to ride,
Dude, it's just
and
everybody liked Jerry. Everybody, good man.
like I said, there's times I had to pull the chains on it.
Yeah,
but-
Sal said the same thing. He's had to help Jerry stay straight and focus because he was a hard charger.
Well, I told him, I said, Jerry, dude, you're sitting here for a reason to me.
Yeah,
And I says, you want to go to OSS?
Yeah.
I know that. I says, I will definitely pull for you to get there because I think you should be there, but you can't be doing the stuff you've done.
Yeah.
Because they look at that.
yeah,
And he understood.
yeah. He's a smart dude.
But then he was only married a week to Chella,
I know.
and that in itself was a mess.
I know, because he didn't change his paperwork. Well, Pat Libertone, when he died on duty, same thing happened. He didn't do some paperwork. So the next day in my unit, because he was my lieutenant, they came in with these papers saying, everybody fill out this paperwork. Get your last check. If you're killed on duty, you'll get this last check for your family so they can bury you. Because you're not going to get your final check in time for the process. I thought it was all covered. He was on duty, but it wasn't. So there's a form we have to fill out that says, giving my advance on my last check to my family if I'm killed on the line of duty. And that's what happened. But we didn't know about this stuff. No one ever told us about this shit.
So if you go to Sheriff's Relief, they don't pay for the funeral.
No.
They give you so much, but they don't pay for the funeral.
No, and you could be shot defending a class full of kids, and you're not going to get paid for it.
No.
You don't get any special benefits. There's some reward, or not reward, some money for the kids in college paid for. There's some things, but there's not much. You got to pay for it yourself. And Pat's family was stuck with that. So we started everybody just gave a gang of money to him. And then they came in with the captain goes, everybody fill this shit out. This isn't happening again. And he was at Commercial Crimes.
Yeah.
And I talked to
He
him.
had stopped in an intersection to help out somebody.
I was talking to him when he walked out the door. I had talked to him, hey, Pat, whatever. And he walked out the door, and I'm driving to a job. And they go, hey, Pat just died. I go, I just talked to him 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. No, on the way home.
He used to call me when I was locked up in the hospital. When I was going through my cancer. Hey, anything you need, man. You know, came out a couple times to visit me, and I go, Pat, you don't have to come out here because, you know what, dude, realistically. And then at one point, they wouldn't let anybody in because I had no immune system.
Yeah, you could get
and the
sick.
doctors had to dress up with the schmuck and all that. And my 4th month, I went septic.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and I was gone, man.
What hospital was that?
At Huntington Memorial, oncology floor. So I ended up in ICU. And, man, they put all kinds. I tell people, by the grace of God, and I'm serious.
Dude,
because
septic, too? That's the kiss of death right there, man.
Yeah. So the ICU nurse, the next day I was going back to my room.
What?
And she says, people in your condition, Mr. Giambalvo, don't usually leave here.
What the hell?
Yeah, dude, I'm laying there. And I never thought they'd put those paddles on you until your heart stopped.
No. They did
Put
it
them on me.
just to keep it going?
Well, no, they want to get your heartbeat to regular.
Oh, okay. They
Right?
they can make it go back to regular. Yeah.
So I'm laying there and I'm just like, I'm going out. I see and I was an instructor for the department. I'm 26. So when I took the class, you know, you have to get tased,
Yeah.
right? So that didn't feel good.
No.
Dude, I'd rather get tased than have them things.
And you're
on me.
awake? Oh, fuck. I got tased when I was out on surgery, flatlined in surgery one time. But I woke up with those bruises, those big freaking black and blue bruises.
Well, I woke up with bruises one time, but it was because of, you know, they had me on a morphine drip
Oh, shit.
because of the pain.
Yeah.
And so I had a Hickman catheter because they couldn't put the chemo in me anymore. My veins were gone. So they had to put it through that catheter through my heart. So one morning, this is like 2 o'clock in the morning, I got up. I don't even remember this. I don't remember it. Pulled everything out. I was walking down the hallway past the nurse station, naked as a blue jay, blood pumping out of my chest.
What?
This is they told me later. And I was walking to the elevators.
You're leaving. I'm going home.
And the nurses couldn't hold me back.
No.
So as soon as they timed it perfectly, I guess, because the doors opened up. They said, and 4 security guys grabbed me and took me back, and then they had to take me to somewhere, I guess, the surgery, put the Hickman catheter and all the lines back.
What the hell?
So I woke up the next day in 4 points. It's
You
about
laughed.
1:30 in the morning, man. I'm like,
Why? What?
I'm like this. I got bruises all over me.
Yeah.
And I told the nurse, who the hell beat the crap out of me, man? You know? And she goes,
I'm sorry to
she
laugh.
goes, you were a very bad boy last night. And I go, well, what that? She tells me, and I go, oh, that's it. Take this off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Tylenol. I mean, I was still in pain, but I wasn't going to do that again.
They give you the button?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
I did it a couple times, but I don't, you know.
You could ask. I hit it twice, and I said never again, because I didn't even know what was what, man, and I didn't like that feeling at all.
Yeah, I didn't like it either.
And
you know?
I can have as much as you need, sir, and I just never touched it. After the first 2 pushes, you only get one, because you get one every so often.
Yeah, so I did it, I think, once or twice. That's it. And then I don't remember anything. And I said, no, that's not good.
Sounds like you had something to live for. You beat all that.
I'm telling you, grace of God, go away. But see, we had our uncle on the department.
Here?
Yeah.
Where was he at?
Well, he worked of course, he worked at the jail.
Okay, so
And then he still lay for like 13, 14 years.
so your uncle might have been the reason, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We used to go on ride-alongs.
Oh, no way.
My cousin and I, we were younger, just kids.
Yeah.
They used to drive that Ford Galaxy, the little cherry on top, right?
top.
If you left the thing going, the battery would run down.
Yeah, and they had the strap. They hold up their belt.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
what they
my
call
cousin
that.
and I, my mom and my aunt would go shopping down on Whittier Boulevard in East LA. So they'd drop us off with my uncle and his partner. And they'd put us in the back seat. We'd sit in the back car, back seat. Because they'd be walking. They'd do a foot beat.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there. Then all of a sudden they'd bring some bloody pulp into the back seat and drunk,
Yeah.
And they go, this is your uncle so-and-so. And I don't know how many times they told us we had a bunch of uncles all over the place.
All the families were out in that neighborhood. That used to be a really, really cool place to raise your family.
Well, it wasn't as bad.
No, that's what I mean. It was pretty nice, actually.
And, and then he left East LA, went to the jail for a little bit, and then went to Altadena. And then in 1973, when they opened up Pico, he went to Pico.
Yeah.
And he finished there.
That's where it started. And that's how Eric turned into a cop. I know. I'm going to say this right now. I had a great time working with you. I mentioned names in here several times. I always say you need mentors when you're growing. You're young and you're getting your wits in the department. You need good inspiration. You need guys that motivate you. You need guys that you want to aspire to be. And I always mention names, and one of them's yours. And I talk about Liam and Dwayne, and then Sal too, of course. But I wouldn't have done it, dude. I mean, I wouldn't have made it because I had a lot of problems with certain people. I hated stupidity. I hated stupid supervisors because there's a certain sergeant. There's actually 2 or 3. When they would give me shit, I would throw your name out. Sorry. But I said, one time I got rolled up, I told the sergeant, it's not your fault you're a shitty sergeant. I work for the best sergeants in the sheriff's department, and now I have to work for you. So you can't compare to what the guys that I think the way a sergeant should be because I work for Dwayne Harris, Liam Gallagher. I work for Eric Giambalvo. I work for Sal Munoz. I work for these guys that commanded respect. And you just don't know what the hell you're supposed to be doing. You just suck at your job because they were just my uncle is a chief. So what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So you're to blame for me getting rolled up from at least 2 teams, I think.
I mean, it's like I look back, I really didn't want to leave OSS, but I kind of left silently.
Yeah.
Because if I'd have said anything it would not have gone over well. And even Mike Ford asked me, what's up? And and I'm like, this was when we were short people, and we had a big meeting at Kenny Allen Hall. And the individual that was leading it was saying the sheriff wants OSS to work nights. And I go, okay. I'm thinking, and you work overtime on days. That's what it was. I said, what's the hell is the difference? If you work during your days and work the overtime at night.
Yeah.
There's no difference. And I said, plus you got to go in on days anyway to file cases.
Court.
And get the cases, the new ones, interviews. Oh, you're going to do that at night? No. Because then your time's worn out.
Mm-hmm. In custody.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So I go, no, I'm not going to do that with my team. Right?
Yeah.
And so questions.
Yeah.
I asked a couple things. didn't answer. So guess who's sitting next to me?
Sal. Oh, Sal don't care either.
No, Sal gets up and says, well, can you answer Sergeant Giambalvo's questions?
Oh, shit.
Calls it recess, a break. So I'm not going to mention your name, but
I know what names they are.
anyway, during the break, I'm talking to one of the guys I work patrol, who's a commander. He goes, so-and-so's beelining for you right now. I'll talk to you later.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you ever talk to me like that. I go, okay, whatever. I was respectful. Ford called me that night. Hey, tomorrow I'll report to Metro Court at 10 o'clock.
That's the way it happened with me.
So I go, okay. So, you know what?
It happens. No, but you stood your ground.
You know, but so.
And you were defending, you're battling for us.
Yeah.
I'm going to get Mike in here and we're going to talk because I guess
Big Bob.
I'm going to call Bob in and maybe you'll come in with him. That would be cool.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
I think I'm going to get Mike and you in here. I think that would be.
Capping on each other.
Oh, we would die. Maybe G in that chair.
Oh, oh God.
I really appreciate you coming out, Eric. I really
cool.
do.
I had a good time. It's good seeing you after all this time.
All these years, we got to connect some
if
more.
If you didn't have the beard and stuff, you'd still look the same.
Oh, thank you. I'm old as hell, man. Broken. Everything's broken.
Oh, tell me about it.
I hope you feel better. I really do. If you need anything from me, let me know.
I'm good, dude.
And
I know what? My wife, she's home, man. She's been making me some good meals. And
there you go.
You know, and
there you go. You look good, though.
Well, I lost weight. Now I got to take this medication, but
man,
amongst other baloney.
Well, good luck with all of it. God bless you, man. And I love seeing you. It really brings back. It's an honor for you to be here for me.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
And you take care of yourself.
Yeah, God willing.
God willing. I'll see you next time, brother.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care.